.3 FM ZJB Radio.
What I can tell you, many are full of smiles this afternoon because of the return of the sports program for 2026. And yes, we are back for 2026. As they say, better late than never. Sometimes you do have to let the dust settle, Make sure everything is, sorted properly for a good year ahead, So we welcome you to the sports program from the Pavilion for today, Thursday, the 5th of February in the year 2026. And I don't think that it's too late from the sports program to say Happy New Year to all of our loyal listeners. Thank you for being on with us. It's yours truly, Little Lenny, and of course I'm joined by the full crew on the other side. Yes, I'm making it happen on a weekly basis. And of course, we are streaming live on ZJB's Facebook page and of course on YouTube as well. Spirit of Montserrat. So if you want to see what's happening inside the studio, you head to ZJB's Facebook page and also on YouTube, the Spirit of Montserrat. So we'll be looking at what's happening locally, regionally, and on the international scene. So first up, I say good afternoon, and I'm hoping that is not too late to say Happy New Year to everyone on the other side. Welcome back to where it's at.
You're pushing it. You're pushing it. Well, Happy New Year.
No. You can't say Happy New Year to us. You have to say Happy New Year to the public. And we see you very often.
I haven't seen him much,
Oh, well, I am tired of him already.
It's all good. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back for 2026. And, well, I don't think I'll allow you to tell me all what transpired while we were off, but if you can summarize it in another nutshell, that would be good.
Sammy happened. I could put that in a nutshell.
Depressing, but yeah.
Yeah, not much, Lenny. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to all our listeners. It's been a while. Good to be here. Good to see my sister and my brothers. So I'm looking forward to a lively show. Nothing special happened over the other platform. Arsenal is still on top of the table, even though somebody to the right had a little fun the other weekend. And
a lot of fun.
And the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. What else could
Again.
So I'm quite pleased. Yeah.
So who's next?
Well, for me, it was a great Christmas. The normal. Eat a lot and... it's a new year. The new year started off really well, and I'm looking forward to the rest months coming up.
Mm-hmm. For me, it was a good Christmas, and I must say a lot of positive things came my way. Jah has blessed my footsteps, and it continues to do so. So I'm giving thanks for that as well. It outweighed the positives, the negatives, and then... Going into the new year, I was invited to a prayer meeting. I think I'm having a change of heart as well.
I'm getting frightened now.
I'm going deeper into the, soul searching and, looking for joy.
It's getting.
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah. So it was a lovely time there. My brother on my left, the Arsenal guy here, he was there as well, and it was refreshing. And I think I'm going down the road some sort. So.
Lenny, you go to the right here, you next.
Yes, good afternoon, Montserrat, and it's always a pleasure to be here. A limited time I have, but it's a pleasure to be among my fellow brothers as we talk.
Sister.
Oh, of course. My Gemini sister, of course. As we talk sports throughout this year, and we'll keep moving this program from strength to strength.
Alavon, he asked you to give your introduction.
You can hear me from here?
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon and a happy new year to everyone. I am happy to be here. I'm grateful to be alive and glad to continue to share nutritional tips with everyone. So let's get the ball rolling.
Sounds good. And of course, we say good afternoon to Brother Buff and Brother Enver taking care of the technical side of things this afternoon. So, as per normal, we'll kickstart with you, Laverne. Tell us what's in store for us today. Right, somebody has to pass.
Yes.
Over to you now.
Over to you.
Okay, so it's the first of this. This is our first program for the year. And so you know that it's flu season. There are several times of the year when it's flu season. December when it's really rainy, and also when we have a lot of visitors coming home, also in March around St. Patrick's. But usually when it's rainy, we have flu season. And so today I am going to be doing a natural juice. But before I get to that, sometimes we wait until we get the flu to try to treat the flu. And I'm learning today that once you have the flu, the vitamin C and all of that you're taking sometimes is ineffective once you have the flu symptoms. So sometimes you're drinking a lot of orange juice, you're doing this, and it's not really working because the flu is already in your system. You just have to let it run its course. But what you should do if you have the flu is ensure you're resting. So resting 8 to 10 hours a day, eating nutritiously. So you're eating your brightly colored fruits and vegetables, your lean meats, your lean proteins, your bright green leafy vegetables, your bright orange, your berries, and so forth. You want to stay hydrated. So if it's warm water with lemon or broths, but you're staying hydrated. Sometimes I say ice chips help to soothe your throat and also keep you hydrated. You want to humidify your ear. So if you have a humidifier, you can put that on. If you don't, you just put a basin with water in the room, preferably close to like a heat source. And once it evaporates, it leaves the ear moist, because if your nasal passages are dry, then it encourages or lowers your resistance, and so you get sick. Also, you want to not consume alcohol. So alcohol, caffeine, salty and sugary foods, because those dehydrate you. You want to be hydrated when you have the flu. So you avoid alcohol, caffeine foods, salty and sugary beverages, which dehydrate you, and
So we're gonna take a break for our sponsor ad.
Yep. And of course, we want to say thanks to Arvin for, sponsoring this segment this time around. So Arvin, we say thank you very much. Here we go.
hello, and good afternoon. Happy New Year. It's been a long time since you've seen me, and I haven't seen you in a long time. But I know when you see me, you know what time it is. Do I need to say anything, or should I let the shirt speak for itself? So anytime you see me, you know I'm here to do the nutritional tips. We're going to be bringing them live and direct. You know, last year, Aravins was one of our sponsors for our program. And this year, we're proud to announce that Aravins is still there with us, hand in hand. So come with me and let us get the items for this afternoon's demonstration. So here at Aravins, you can get your fresh fruits and vegetables, your starches, your garlic. You know it's flu season. You can use your onion and your garlic. So for today's demonstration, we're going to be using ginger. So we're going to be getting some ginger. You got to bring your shopping bag to put everything in. Today, we're going to be getting some apples. So we're going to get 2 bags of apples. We're also going to be getting some oranges, tangerines rather. And finally, we're going to be getting some carrots. So once again, for today's demonstration, we have apples, oranges or tangerines, carrot, and ginger. Please feel free to come to Aravins and get your fresh fruits and vegetables, your snacks, everything you need, your medicines, Aravins, one of our #1 supermarkets on island. Thank you. We want to thank Aravins again for continuing to supporting from the Pavilion show. So thank you, and come to Aravins and do your shopping.
Like all of us need to head to Arvin and do our shopping for, whenever we need something. So we say thanks to the technical team again for doing that. And thanks to Brother Arvin for supporting us in our venture. Now, back over to you, Sister Laverne.
Okay. So I was saying just now before the ad, when you have the flu, to minimize your alcohol consumption, your caffeine, your coffee, and salty and sugary beverages, because they dehydrate you and worsen your muscle aches. You do not consume highly processed, greasy, and sugary foods because they support inflammation and hinder your immune system. So you avoid dairy, as it helps to increase mucus and makes your congestion worse. Sometimes this is kind of tricky because they will tell you to take a cold bath or a cold shower when you have fever. But experts are saying that the shivering causes your body temperature to increase when you're really trying to break the temperature with the fever. So it's a give and take. Do not use antibiotics because they cannot or will not deal with viruses. And influenza is a virus, so they cannot. So don't take antibiotics. Don't misuse your medications. There are many medications that have the same chemicals in there. So the same ingredients, same active ingredients. So you want to be careful of the multiple medications that you're taking, or flu medications that you're taking. It is always important to practice hygiene, good hygiene. So covering your nose and your mouth, disposing of your tissues when you're sneezing. Avoid being in spaces where there's lots of people, where you can easily contaminate persons or workspaces. And if you minimize this, then you limit the spread of the flu virus. Do not or never ignore your symptoms. So if you feel you have trouble breathing, if you have an unrelenting headache that's not easing up, increased fever, persistent pain, seek medical assistance. And I wanted to ask something here. Well, it's also important to get sunlight because sunlight boosts vitamin D, and vitamin D supplementation protects against acute respiratory infection. So exposure to sunlight will produce vitamin D, so it's important. So we're supposed to be getting about 10 to 30 minutes of sunlight daily between the hours of 10 and 4. The question I wanted to ask just now, if you have the flu, do you lay in bed all day? Because I know sometimes you get the flu and it totally takes you. Do you lie down, or how active are you supposed to be?
I can't lie down with that stuffy. Okay. So I go up and about. When I'm up and about, I'll feel less stuffy. So I go about.
Okay, so the experts say, because some people want to be really active, they say your body is already under duress because it's fighting the infection. So you can increase your sickness, you can increase heart risk and other complications. They say you need to do an above the neck check. So if it's something above the neck, so if it's runny nose, sneezing, and minor sore throat, then you could do light exercises like walking. But if it's something below the neck, so like chest congestion and that, no exercises at all. So if you're contemplating how active you are, or you should be when you're sick because you don't want to stay there and not do anything at all, if your symptoms are above the neck, light walking. If below, nothing at all. So today's juice will utilize apples, ginger. I put cucumber in there for hydration because you want to stay hydrated. So we have carrots, brightly colored, as I was speaking about before, brightly colored fruits and vegetables. So we have carrots, we have apples, lemon, oranges, ginger, cucumber.
It's all live radio, by the way, and of course, folks are viewing on ZGB's Facebook page and also on YouTube, The Spirit of Montserrat. So log on, see what's happening inside the studio for first edition of the sports program for 2026, right here on ZGB YouTube and on Facebook. Sounds so good, looking so good, right? Yeah, so no need to worry. So remember, it's a booster. No program is tagged the booster shot, but this will definitely help you somewhat in case you're suffering with the flu. By the way, any one of you had the flu throughout the Christmas season?
No. No.
No.
No.
Yes.
I missed the question.
Did you have the flu? I want to see something.
No, I'm perfect.
Oh,
I
because
was
you're
perfect.
because your golfing partner seems to do everything in tours.
Yeah.
I need a do-over.
Yeah. We need a do-over.
Might get more licks this time. Might get more licks this time.
Boy.
Right, so we're waiting on Sister Laverne. We're waiting on Sister Laverne to see what's happening here.
Oh no.
In walks
Oh no.
Leonard.
Was he invited at this specific time?
He's early.
Very early.
He was listening to the radio, Lenny, and then once he hear Laverne and cutting up, oh no.
This time of the year.
The question is it a shorter route coming up to the back of Garland Hill or
Actually, I didn't really matter about the road at the moment. You know,
Making sure you didn't miss.
getting here is what counts. You know.
It's not the journey.
I see that red hat that
It's all good. Right, tell us, Sister
Okay,
Laverne.
so we're gonna juice, and we're not adding anything. We're just utilizing the fruit, right?
You're right, are you?
So
strong smell over here? Yeah. The aroma. Yeah.
Oh boy, you can't get no flu with this.
No.
That's by the strength.
All live radio. Have to
Man.
carry that live. Have to carry that live.
Lenny, I don't know. You can't smell it from over there, but
But yeah.
I feel
boy.
good already. I feel
Yeah,
boosted
boy.
already.
It's all good. It's
wait,
all good. It's all
everything
good.
in the ingredients he can partake.
Yes, no
Okay.
pineapple.
No pineapple.
Okay.
Even if he either drinks it or don't
Or
drink
don't drink it.
But you say, what the bush called? No pineapple and no, what you had a problem eating
Mango.
last season?
mango.
And coconut.
And
Coconut.
coconut.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And even if you don't drink it, it's
Go.
more for me.
It's all good, Gilmore. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So we're waiting on Sister.
But I was actually having a conversation just now. I went to pick up my boys. And we were trying to reminisce. We were trying to think back on what you didn't like to eat. And I think I got all four of them. I got all three of them. All three of them, yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Anything else for the new year?
Well, no, not really. I think I might be trying more things for 2026.
Good man.
Might be.
Don't try pineapple?
No. No. Because of my work, I want to make sure my voice is good. You understand? Sister Laverne, what else are we waiting on in terms of the ingredients to be added? All right. Good to go.
quick question. Like we see a lot of the thing remaining, the pulp remaining. Would you do anything with this one?
You know what? I was thinking I was going to do that, but they got away from me because I'm thinking you could, without the lemon in there, but really you can. You could make like a little rock cake or something, because my dad, back in the day, my dad would take this and he would add like maybe some raisins and maybe a banana or something and some flour and a bit of oil, and would mix it and then put it like bake it like a rock cake, and it's yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you would have done something like that with it. I was gonna do that so you could see that you don't waste anything. You can utilize everything.
You have a caller?
Yeah. But that's interesting though. I think we have a caller. Caller,
good afternoon. Caller, good afternoon. All right, so we missed that call. Right. So I think. So can someone ask Laverne what is this mixture called? Usually she'll have a name for it. Is it the flu mix or
Then he wants to know if there's a special name for this blend today.
Well, I am thinking that you want to
call it the Lenny Flu Mix.
You're more for Cho.
It's all good. It's definitely all good. All good. So folks, what you actually saw just now was the ingredients being blend. Not really blend, but what would you call
Juice.
that? Juiced.
The
Right.
juice is
natural,
extracted.
no additives.
Yep. Wow.
You could make this at home. I could put in a plug for Karishma. You could get a juicer like this at Karishma for about $250 or $300, and you can make your natural juices at home. There's no additives in there, just so you can get one of these juices at Karishma if you so desire, any of the other places here in Ireland. But I could tell you at Karishma, so you can make your natural juices. Carrot juice is good for your skin. Cucumber is good because it firms and tightens your skin. In a plastic cup.
Okay.
Asking for a friend, Lenny. The ninja
Person.
thing came. I don't know. The ninja came.
The ninja,
What?
Ninja blender.
We were promised.
We were promised one.
Yes.
Oh, Enva, if you can, Brother Brown, help me out on this side because it seems like I'll be left out.
And with something like this, if you want to add more power to it for your influenza, you can now add like a teaspoon of turmeric and some black pepper.
Yeah.
And because black pepper activates turmeric, so you add a little black pepper and turmeric, and you can start. But you don't want to wait until the flu hits. You want to start nourishing your body all the time. I usually do like an immunity mix where I get honey, and you can get like cloves, and you grind your cloves, and you get cinnamon and nutmeg and a bit of cayenne and turmeric and black pepper, and you mix it into the honey. And so when you're having your tea, whether it's bush tea or whatever, you just take a spoon of that, and you don't want to wait until you're sick to try and fight it, but you just deal with it on a day-to-day basis and just build your immunity before you actually get sick.
But the last time we were here, you spoke about cardamom.
Cardamom. Oh, you found it?
I found it.
It's
yeah,
a
I
really
found
good
it.
spice.
Yeah.
You see how sweet it smells?
Yeah, I put it in my tea.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah, cardamom is a really nice spice.
Yeah.
It sounds good. Right, so Sister Laverne, anything else you'd like to add? As we say thanks again to Aravind for providing the ingredients for this mix.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, I just want to encourage persons to eat healthily. That's the way to protect yourself, so eat healthily every day. If you eat your fruits and vegetables and hydrate and make sure you get enough rest, you take a moment out in nature, whether it's at the beach or out in the field somewhere, and you try to avoid negative people and negative situations, then your body, your peace of mind and your health would be better. And once your body is okay, then your mind and your body works in tandem, so you can be able to fight off whatever. So eating healthy, exercising, hydrating, getting rest, and that is the key to, you either do it now or you pay for it later. You either go to the doctor and pay them when you're sick, or start to protect yourself every day.
Agreed. Lovely.
Okay, Levon, can you just run through the
What's here
ingredient-
today?
Yes.
Okay, so today we did tangerine. You could do tangerines or oranges. We did cucumber, apples, carrot, and a bit of ginger. You can add whatever if you want. If you wanted a bit more spice, you could add more ginger. You could do less ginger. If you want more cucumber, you want more apples. But it's something that is not too strong on your system that you could have as a juice in the morning. So and like I'm saying, if you wanted to add a further defense to fight your influenza, you would add the turmeric powder. You could add turmeric to here, but turmeric is I am loving turmeric, but at the same time, afraid of turmeric because it just take over everything. It's really strong.
Yep.
But the powder is not as strong, but it gives you the same effect. But you could add some turmeric to that with some black pepper and protect
You spoke
yourself.
about the black pepper activating. Is it something else that it activates, or just the
Well,
turmeric?
the black pepper is what helps the turmeric to be more effective. You can have the turmeric and you wouldn't get the full effect as if you were to add some black pepper to it. So yeah.
So would you prescribe this drink to be made like every other day, or if you make one batch, you could store it in the fridge and have it for the week?
I would say make a batch for 2 days, because after a bit, because it's natural juice, then it tends to go off easily.
Okay.
And people say also the longer it stays, it loses nutrients.
Okay.
So we say maybe if you're doing it, but you could do a bottle that lasts for like about 2 days. I wouldn't say any more than that.
Okay.
But it's something that you could do. I juice pretty much almost every day. So it's something that you could do.
Okay, noted.
daily.
Lenny, I think you need to put the ingredients on the page.
Well, we have our technical guy,
Yeah.
so it's over to him, really.
Okay.
Yes, over to him. eh?
Okay.
Yeah. That's good on his part, really.
But we have to find a name. Or we're going to use Gilmore names. What are we going to do?
What I'm saying, right? I'm putting a plug in now that I want to be invited for on the first Thursday of March.
No problem.
Right.
So Lenny, we're coming. Hold on, we're coming down the line. So we are Arvin's. I think I can probably divert and come down and have Chow sponsor the next one, so that
long as I'm going to be here.
no problem. no.
reason why I said
Hello,
this, right?
hold on.
Yeah.
You don't need to be here. So you're sponsoring the ingredients. Love when we go and shop with you, and you can drink to your heart's content.
That's the whole how life works. Life works is that, Laverne,
You're
it's
right here.
March is coming up. And if I get in my immune builder at the first week of March, I think I'm going to make it to the 17th.
I see the freebies.
So just
here.
mix your honey with your turmeric. And
No,
your
no,
black
he
pepper
wants
and
you
your
to do it.
spices, and you start to drink from now. So when all the people come in with their influenza, and make sure you get your vitamin C, those effervescents and the multivitamin, and you put them in water.
Right.
And you drink them from now. So when everybody come with everything that they're coming with, your system is already
Okay.
strong. Don't
So,
wait until they
free
come.
advice.
Don't wait until they come.
And
'cause it's
free
gonna be
juice.
problems.
So just want to say thanks to Sister Laverne, and of course to Brother Enver for going out there and videoing Laverne's experience at Arvin's. And to Arvin's again, we say thank you for being on board and assisting us with our sports program and getting that nutritional information out there to the public in terms of bettering themselves and protecting themselves from the influenza. So once again, Laverne, thank you. Arvin, thank you, as we move on into our next segment, and that is a recap of what would have transpired last December. It happened so quickly, and we have the president of the MABA in, Montserrat Amateur Basketball Association in, and of course he'll help us recap with all the information that we need. So Gilmore, good afternoon, and this is the official good afternoon.
Oh, this is the official one?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Montserrat. Good afternoon to the panel. Laverne, thank you again for the little booster. I felt like I was coming down with a little flu, but with this, there'll be no more flu for the next 4 weeks. Okay. Yeah, so we had the tournament on the 9th to the 13th of December. All in all, I can say from Maba's perspective, it was a very good tournament. The new concept that we used in order to attract teams, it actually paid off. and we had, as promised, we had 7 teams in the tournament. Actually, 6 from our neighboring islands and Montserrat, our home team. Questions? Anybody? Lenny's over here drinking juice. So,
No, we expect you to flow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So, as I said, we 7 teams over the 5 nights. It was a jam-packed tournament. We actually had games in the morning, as we talked about the last time I was here. The teams were really excited about the new concept. You know what I mean? We didn't get to, because of time, we didn't get to, everybody get to play everybody, but at the end of it, everybody was pleased in terms of the schedule and how we went about to getting to the finals and semifinals, etc.
I tell you what, I think I like the new format. It was very exciting. I think we got to see few characters coming through, and in the club setup, in the national setup, you'll probably get a bunch of kind of semi-pros, and they could be very quite aggressive and so forth. But we got to see individuals from different parts of Nevis and Kitts and so forth, and they added a little spice and a little flavor to the whole tournament.
Definitely, they did. As we were saying, everybody, from the feedback that I was getting from players, coaches, managers, even the Barbuda manager, he's actually one of Gaston's right hand men, and that works in Barbuda, and he was like, he's really happy that they were part of the tournament.
Yeah, because if it's national, you probably wouldn't have seen them there.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question, over the years that we've been having this tournament,
4.
so what you think has transitioned more now since you started this tournament to date?
What I would say is that players, not only the players from Montserrat, but a lot of teams are using the Montserrat Invitational as like a showcase for coaches and scouts and universities out there. So they're coming to the tournament, and I have to say the minister is right here. Thanks to the minister and the government of Montreal for helping out, GIU, ZJB, for helping out with the streaming, because without that, we won't be seen. And again, as the great David Osborne would say, we want the whole world to know that Montreal is open for business.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. In terms of the organizing and how, I know last year, the year before, it was difficult getting teams in terms of access and so forth. How did it go this time around?
Well, it actually worked out good. We had a little issue in terms of the ferry, but again, the minister is here, my brother, and I gotta say thanks to him again, and the government, RTM, the premier, for helping us to get over some of the hurdles. St. Kitts and Nevis came by ferry, and summer station players. Stacia and BVI came by Winia, and actually Barbuda was waiting on the ferry, but as I said, they have some good links in Antigua with Gaston, and they flew two charters from Barbuda to Montreal.
Nice.
Brilliant.
All right, I just want to, when
You're good.
you're doing several things. So,
I only saw you doing one thing.
You're good.
You could do one less and just send what you have over here.
oh boy, I tell you, certain things would not change. Would not change at all. But in terms of the outright winner, in terms of the tournament, was there one?
Yes, there was an outright winner. Sandy Point Falcons won the tournament. Everybody was putting their money on skillful ballers. I myself, even though Sean is my brother, I was putting my money on BVI, because through the tournament.
Hold on. You're saying that on public radio?
Well, it's a figure speech, eh?
Okay.
It's a figure speech.
I just want to make sure.
I had all hopes. Okay, let me change it. I had all hopes that the skillful ballers was going to win the tournament because of they played throughout the tournament, and I know everybody in this room could say the same. But after SKB lost to BVI the first time, I knew that they were going to regroup and come again. So I knew that final game was going to be one to be seen.
In terms of Montserrat's participation, we're the host island. Tell us about that.
Well, this year we fell short, really short. I think that what needs to happen again is that we are not playing enough competitive basketball. And the minister is here. Again, I'm a brother, so yeah, I talk to him, off radio, on radio. So they're not playing enough competitive basketball. Again, as I always say, when these teams come to Montserrat, they have already played like 5-6 tournaments before they reach to Montserrat. I've just gotten a call from BVI this morning, and the call went, Gilmore, what date is your tournament? Because I have to lock your dates before everybody else's dates.
So then you have the microphone. What dates are we looking for? Looking at?
We're looking at the 8th to the 12th. We're looking at the 8th to the 12th of December.
Okay, so first time right here on ZJB, Maba Invitational 2026, looking at December 8th to the 12th, first time, announced by the president himself, Gilmore Papcha Williams. Now you mentioned we are not playing enough tournaments, enough basketball. So what will Maba be doing for 2026 to aid that?
Let me dive that. Well, let me say my piece first, and then I'll let the minister say his piece. We are depending on the government of Montserrat to at least up our funding, so we can at least participate in even some matches, invitationals with neighboring islands. Again, if we get the ferry, it makes our life much more easier. And if we get that I know when I played for National, when we won the tournament in Montserrat, I tell everybody is because we went to Nevis and we played those games in Nevis that we could have ironed out our problems before we actually started the tournament. Now, these guys are getting up October and they start practicing. Yeah, Veggie's the one of the greatest. Techon is one of the greatest shooters in Montserrat. Yeah, but they're greater out there. When we went to Suriname, when we left with Nikon, we thought that Nikon was superior. Mm-hmm. But when we went to Suriname, we realized that Nikon is one of us. Mm-hmm. Minister?
Good afternoon and welcome to the sports program, Honorable Minister.
Good afternoon. Yeah, well, let me just chime in, although I'm not really here to talk about basketball today. Let me just chime in. The issue of playing competitive is not just a basketball issue. So it's across all the sports. So one of the things that we're actually doing this year, and thankfully to the Ministry of Finance, it was pre-approved. When I say pre-approved, as in pre-approved for negotiation with FCDO, that we up the sports subvention for all the sports because we realize that the sports need a lot more help. Now, when I reviewed the sports subvention, and Kenton is here, Kenton can agree with me from the sports department as well, the yearly sports subvention was just way too low to support all the sports that it's trying to support. So I'll be open. I made $190,000 for the whole year to support every single sport on Montserrat. No, you can't do much with that.
Nope.
The basketball tournament alone is probably $40,000 or $50,000.
Correct.
Think about it.
Cricket alone, if you have under 19, under 15 is over 100.
Right. So we have put in a new spend trying to significantly increase the sports subvention just so that we could provide enough funding for the different sporting organizations to travel more and do more. But we do expect also that we're going to put some of the onus on the sports organizations and associations that they themselves would put things in place to make sure that our guys are not only practicing more, but training more. Because one of the things that I noticed from watching every single sport, we have a lot of talent in Montserrat. But where we fall short is in the third and the fourth quarter when your endurance starts to kick in. Now you have guys that you're playing against that have been conditioned all year. Regardless of how fit you are, if you're not being conditioned all year, when you come to play at that competitive level, you're not going to be able to keep up with guys who are accustomed to running up and down all the time. Damien can tell you he's here. But unlike Damien, because I watch Damien being conditioned and conditioning himself every week, a lot of our basketball players don't do that. You don't see them at the track. You don't see them running or at the gym exercising. It's a month or two before the tournament that everybody starts to play basketball, and that is the problem. So if you're not active all year round, even if you're not playing basketball all year round, because Pacho will tell you, Pacho was kind of our manager when I was growing up in under 19. We had to be on a court at least every Saturday throughout the year. Sure. So we had a lot more discipline, and I think that's part of what's lacking in the associations. Granted, it was a lot more competitive back in our day, because you were competing with maybe 20, 30 different people for the spot on the team.
Exactly.
So you had to make sure that you're turning up to the practices. You had to make sure that you were fit enough. I remember the first time I played for Bevan when we did the basketball team. I lost 30 pounds just to make sure I could get on the team.
Hold on, Minister. We have a caller. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Well, if it's the first time I'm going to defend the players, it's today. Okay? John, if you check the stats, Mr. Minister, if you check the stats, we have guys that play cricket, play basketball, some run track, some do all kind of things. Okay?
Correct.
And 80% of them are working men. So, as soon as you get the sports policy going, and Maba sees the sports policy and could give their comments, then we are having a conversation. So let's just get it right. Have a good afternoon, Timmy Carback.
Yeah, so here's what I'm going to say. I think, and I'm going to just say, I think on one side we tried to make too many excuses for things. We didn't have an excuse when we were going to school and we still had to get up at 5 a.m. to go to practice for basketball. Or when we had to go after school 6 o'clock to play basketball.
Saturday.
Exactly, we didn't have an excuse. I remember when Dimitri and I used to walk out to Old Town, no ride, at 5 a.m. in the morning to try to get to Braid's basketball court for 6 o'clock in the morning. We make too many excuses for why we're failing. We need to stop making excuses. It's just like when I went to the first MCA meeting and all the young cricketers were making an excuse. And I was like, how could you make an excuse if you're not willing to sit down and take charge of your own development? If you're not willing to join the association, if you're not willing to go ahead and actually put yourself up front to take charge of your own development. So we need to just stop making excuses. Stop saying that, oh, because we're working, we're tired. If you want something, you're going to put it in, because there are people out there who are doing the exact same things that we are doing and still going and working harder than we are doing. And that is exactly why they beat it. That is not a lack of skill. It's a lack of determination and a lack of discipline why we're getting beaten. So I'm not going to join with the caller, and granted, yes, he's my brother too, but I'm going to say exactly what I have to say. We need to stop making excuses for why we're not seeing the development and actually go and do the work that we need to do.
You have a caller, go right ahead.
Mr. Minister, again, if a man working from 7 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon and go down by the park for 4:30, if he could get time to go down there and get in an hour and a half practice to 2 hours practice, where the outcome, what's going to happen? We need, nobody's making any excuses. We need a sports policy to protect the guys, the workers, the employers, everybody. And that's all I'm saying. Government is to blame for a lot of this thing that's happening, because a lot of the players don't have enough time to, it's just not working the right way. It's not thinking. And the sports policy has been hanging around now for how much years? And nobody, after this, they're here. I hear you said the other day that you send it out to people. I asked the president who is sitting right beside you if he has gotten it. He said no. So maybe basketball is excluded from it. I don't know. But it's not excuses. It's what's happening. It's what's on the ground. Give the guys the opportunity to go and practice give them half day from work and let them go park 12 o'clock today and start to practice. And let me see what the outcome will be from there. And then cricket, basketball, let's see. But if there's no systems in place to support these things, what's going to happen? The guys don't have to work, they have to support themselves. And a lot of the teams, and for your information, nobody playing, most of the guys playing an Antigua youth team, they're not working guys. Think it's the same thing. Them guys, they just play basketball all day, all night. Our guys can't do that. They're working guys. So we need the sports policy in place to do something. And that's just my point. We're not making an excuse. That's just my point.
Yeah, thank you very much, caller. All right.
Well, for me, I could speak. Well, I don't know which hat to put on right now, but I could speak as a sports person locally in the country, and even the last tournament that we participated in, St. Kitts, when we got the half day, I think we got 3 half days just before we left to go St. Kitts to train, and that was a real good training. Okay, caller, we have a caller. Go ahead. Oh, right. I think I understand what the caller. I think I understand what the caller is saying, basically. Because growing up, when I just started and didn't have a job, right now I think most people are scared of even going to work late. And you get up, I train 6 o'clock in the morning, go track, come home 7 o'clock, and then watch your time for 8:30. Your boss is not going to understand, hey, I'm trying to train early in the morning, so I'm late. Next minute, you get an email saying, choose one. Because I got the email, choose one. Either your quantity surveyor or cricketer.
No, we're not going to say that they're not deficiencies in the system. Yeah. We're not going to say that at all. But we have to realize that the issues are from both sides. I went to the MCA meeting the other day. We were half the cricketers.
Yeah.
Seriously, we were half the cricketers.
Yeah, right.
So we're not going to say that there are deficiencies. Obviously, I've stated that we're dealing with the government side of things. It's in the policy department currently for distribution to everybody. They're tidying up some stuff before distribution to everybody. I think so far, and maybe Kenton and Cardella would agree with me, that's probably the farthest that it's been so far.
No, not probably.
Right. It is, definitely.
Okay, so we are doing what we need to do. We are looking at it. Again, it's been years of consultation, just a document just sitting there. We are progressing that because we know that it's missing. But doesn't matter what system you put in place or how many incentives you put in place. If your players and your people are not disciplined and willing to do the work, it would not matter in the end. So once, and again, as I was saying to people, once you start making the changes within yourself, sometimes the system will just adapt to you. Sometimes the reason why we don't get things done is because there's no motivation within the system. And yes, it's going to come from both sides. But again, when you call an MCA meeting and half the players don't turn up, but the same people are going to sit outside that meeting and quarrel and make noise and bicker about what's not happening, that is a problem. Indeed. So while I deal with the government side of things, everybody needs to look within.
We as the players need to
look within yourselves and change that system too.
Well, what I can say, December was one of the first times I was actually upset of being the president of basketball. December was, and you and the minister know why. Sometimes we need to understand that, just like what the caller said earlier, that we are making things so hard for our sportsmen and women in Montserrat that it's not even funny. Now, how can I have players playing last game, finishing at 1 after 1 in the morning, right? Playing last game because guess what? We're in Montserrat and you need the Montserrat players, these people need to see their team at last game and they're finishing at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then they have to turn up to work
at 8 o'clock,
or else.
Yeah, it's
no, but I'm glad you're bringing it out because you know that I stepped in myself to deal with that issue.
Correct.
So it's not that I'm hiding away from the issue. We know that they're there. But I'm just saying there needs to be improvement from both sides. So while I aim to improve the government side of things, which I have been trying to do, which I will do, we also need the players to step up and show that they're willing to do what they need to do as well too.
Well, for me, I could speak on the cricket aspect, because not bashing any government or previous administration or whatever. With the previous tournament, you have seen a huge difference in the guys' mindset. Yes, kudos to whoever attended the meeting a couple days ago and who didn't attend. But I could speak on behalf of my players in regards to cricket. With the new government that has been in power since for the last 2 years or 1 year and a half, you have seen the change that we wanted to see over the last couple of years. Yes, we played a tournament. We got greeted back by the administration, even if it's not all of them. But you could see the effort being put out there. And me, Cardell, and Kenton was on the implementation stage of the sports policy. And it just went disappeared, boof, up in the air. And then now that is back on stream, according to the minister, he thinks that this is the farthest that he has reached. But I don't want him to think, I want him to know that this is the farthest he has reached. So we kudos to you guys, because you guys have been putting in the hard work, and I respect that.
But you know, one of the major issues, Minister, is that a lot of the youngsters, I don't say youngsters, maybe the generation after Damien, don't have a clear understanding of how sports is organized, how sports has been in a little lullaby, little doldrum for so long. And I think their perception was that you get up, just as we say, and you just go and play. And I think we're trying to erode that thought process and to build up the proper thoughts behind how sports operates. And I think it's a slow process. It's a slow process, but I think that's why it's important to push those who are doing it right, and so that they could be a beacon to the others. But I do agree with it. It has to come from the top, and I think the sports policy would answer a lot.
You have to be careful, like you part of the top.
We can cover us then.
I just want to make a quick input in terms of maybe from the athletes' standpoint. I know playing netball, volleyball, softball, cricket, name it, back in the day, you knew that you were not an automatic pick.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
No, the youngsters would go down to the park and like, okay, we call me.
No, they do the maths.
Right?
They do the
maths.
Yes.
But then, because as we said, I mean, at the meeting, not to preempt anything that's coming, we're looking for a under 15 set of guys. And I can sit back and say, well, I don't really have to go because y'all need 12. I have 4 with me. So the changing the mindset for me would be, if we train with 4 who show up, we take those 4. Yes, we won't have a full team, but those 4 would get the experience. And, people are gonna, the country will not suffer. The others will fall into place. But until we give that, we give them, we come. I know people who drive to children's house to beg them to come to play because we need 12, we need 10, we need 7. So once we need now to make them understand, we will go with 3. So Maba has its tournament, and no Maba, we do not have a team, but we will host.
Well, actually, you reached one point that I was contemplating whether that's going to happen, but then again, the patriotic part of me say, no, you can't do that because
yes,
you know what I mean. Montserrat needs its own.
Right, but then they get comfortable. We can call them by name. We know who they are because they're comfortable. Because you have to pick them.
But that I second what you're saying, Cardella, because at the end of the day, that's the point. That's the problem that we are facing at the moment. There's a handful, and at the end of the day, we know the selection before the practice even finished. We know the selection. So is that back in our time, Minister, when we had to compete for a spot? Mm-hmm. We had to compete. So me missing, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. And I can say, no, sometimes I had to beg my mom not to go to church because me have to go practice to try to make the side.
Yep.
Right. I'm one of the best guys in Montreal. I have to go practice because Bevan will tell you, Chow, if you don't come practice,
Yeah,
Right.
But the other thing that's
Give me-
missing from this system currently is consistency.
Yes.
right.
Consistency of training, consistency of practicing. So you can't really build discipline into the system without the consistency. So my wish is that we do actually get the increase to the sports subvention. And one of the things that I'm going to say openly is that I wish that the sports organizations from here forward build some consistency into their systems. So consistency of training, everything.
I would like to say I was in the setup this year, and from the caller's perspective to your perspective as the minister and to everyone here, there are moments where what you said with the players, we had an important game, and players are strolling in.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying I hit.
No, have a caller?
We have a caller. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon and happy New Year, guys.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Same to you, man.
Yo, Chow, you just disturbed me from my work.
For me,
Yeah, man.
me not gonna pay you now. Me
No,
let you know.
sir, make sure you're doing your work, please. Please.
No, yeah, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because they come and say, you come in and chat them whole faculty with this. But that you got selected few before the practice even done. You can't come away to go sentence from the show as the president. You can't do that. Now, when I'm coaching, I'm not sure how good you be, because none of you are as good as Jordan or even Allen Iverson, and you know, not confirm with that. Practice. You remember Allen Iverson with that? And that'll be a problem. Serious problem. You know what, as the president, no, you probably got some proof to them. But as if you want development, you have to put the ball, take the ball by the hand. And who can't show up to practice, that means they don't have an interest in playing. Simple as that. And then you understand how we asked you to come from also. But again, come on, man. When we used to practice for national, Gap used to have to walk from Cut Your Head to town and walk back in the night and still go to school. So I understand what you say. I mean, I'm walking from Kinsale to Fox's Bay to go to work and still back home in time to go to practice for 6 o'clock. So I understand what I still come when everybody know Pion type of car. And that's our problem. I mean, no, sorry, children them too much. Let men be men. As simple as that. Yo, enjoy your session, bro, and enjoy your afternoon. Bless you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're gonna wrap up now. But let me.
I don't think he caught the sarcasm with what you were really saying.
No, that's what you should understand, Bevan. What Bevan.
No, because there was sarcasm. I caught it.
Right.
I definitely caught it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. In Bevan's setup,
Yeah.
right? You had to.
You had to.
There's no if, no buts
And
about
with
it.
Bevan,
You understand?
if we didn't have a team, we just didn't have the team.
And it's simple.
Right.
It's simple like that. But no,
it taught us a lot of discipline.
as Coach Ken said, no, right? It's like they don't care.
Yeah.
So you know me. I know that Montserrat needs I'm thinking. That's why I, as a president, and anybody around me can tell you that my belief in if it's 8, it's 8.
But
because I will only play 7 deep, 8 deep. So why am I waste my time with the rest?
But on the flip side, though, I think they felt like they were lacking a lot of support. So I remember
From the Montserrat public?
in general.
Oh, in
So
general.
I remember when Rallo told me that, well, he couldn't get anybody to turn out to the MCA meeting. So I called up Steville and I was like, tell all the young players that I'm going to come because as the minister, I'm coming to support them. And then they actually turned out to the meeting for the elections.
I see.
And then, and then that's why now you have, when I got there, well, you were there, coach.
Yeah.
You saw that I made a speech to him. I said, take control of your development and be a part of the development directly. So now you have Shirley as the vice president. I think Steville is a floor member, etc. Because they needed to be a part of it directly. But again, sometimes maybe that's what's missing. There's nobody that tells them, okay, well, this is how we were, and this is why we were like that. And this is why you need to do this for your development, which is what I did in the meeting.
Well, we have one final question on this topic, really. Someone is saying, good afternoon, panel. Pre-volcano, the island's top basketball players, cricketers, and athletes were for the most part engaged in the construction field and other full-time jobs. Bufang often on the sports program suggested that some of the West Indies cricketers needed to do some work on a construction site to build their longevity and discipline. Until we have professional sporting units that can pay sportsmen, they would have to be employed otherwise along with their sporting activities.
So let me just piggyback off that. one of the things I'm hoping to do, and which we spoke about when we were developing the sports policy, was to develop a sports fund. Because obviously, no matter how you put it, even if I get the sports subvention increased to what we are suggesting, it's a lot more. It's about 5 or 6 times what we normally would have. But it's still not really enough to get you where you want to get. It's still not enough to pay for sportsmen. So what we're thinking of is actually a sports fund that we can help, like get the diaspora, get local representatives, everybody to buy into and donate to. So I'm just going to throw out a statistic there. It's claimed that we have over 30,000 diaspora members in the UK alone, maybe another 20 or 30 in the US. What if we can just get each of them to just buy into just donating $1 a month to that sport fund? Or a US dollar or pound. That is already more per month than the current sports subvention. At that point, we can start looking at things like helping athletes financially, etc. But we need to build that, and we need to build and get the buy-in of people and the general public into it. But again, it's a collective idea that we have to bring together, and a collective of ideas, I should say, that we have to try to bring together in order to get sports where it needs to go. Your partner in Antigua, Daryl, the Honourable Minister, I sat with him for dinner. And when I told him what my sports adventure was, I think he was thinking I was talking a monthly figure. And I had to tell him, no, yeah. And then everybody just went quiet at that point. Yeah. But again...
And again, Minister, you have to also look at the fact that Antigua have NOC that they can tap into. When I go to meetings and so forth and we sit and we talk, I just went to the NOC and told them that we're going to a meeting and bam. Right. It's done.
So we have to look at our own structure going forward and see where we can get help from.
Well, Gilmore, your final words, and tell us what's next for basketball as we wrap up this segment.
Well, our final words again, I want to thank the public for coming out to the Invitational Tournament in December. And what's coming up is the 3-on-3 tournament in March. We have interdepartmental basketball
next week.
Right, and that's private. But again, what I want the public to know, private or MABA basketball is basketball run by the Munster Amateur Basketball Association. So it doesn't matter if private or public, it's MABA. It's basketball. So please support the interdepartmental basketball tournament. Also, the 3x3 tournament in March that's coming up. Please support. And I think Ascendance is in April. And then after that, MABA is going to look to have either a 3-on-3 village tournament or a small, short village tournament, because I'm looking at starting my training for December early, and I want the players to know that my brother, the minister, says he's gonna give me more money. So if they don't want to come to practice, I have players in the diaspora that's calling me every day to play basketball. Okay.
No, we're going to work together to try and encourage everybody and try to get the whole system moving.
Well, I heard something to that there are some people who are trying to perhaps introduce a diasporan team for the tournament.
Yeah. English team, English Montreal team.
But it's good that they want to connect and keep in touch with our sports in Montreal.
Right. So again, I'm trying to play down the idea, which means that I want a strong Montreal team for December. But at the end of the day, if the Montreal local players don't want to play basketball, then it's not up to me to force them to play basketball. I'm only trying to get them to play basketball, put the opportunities for them to play basketball. So if it comes down to the English diaspora team, then it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and to wrap up things, Gilmore, I think the tournament was successful. I worked the tournament, and I did a lot of work, more work than I normally do. But I enjoyed it. A good thing. But it was a lot more work, but it wasn't taxing, so to speak. I mean, it was refreshing actually to have that amount of work. I haven't had that amount of work done since my senior year in college. When I worked about 4 or 5 different teams. But it was fantastic. I like the fact that they appreciated the services that were provided. They looked at the stadium. Sometimes we call it down a lot and say that the stadium it could be better, but they enjoyed themselves in the facilities. And kudos to them. And I pray that we get even more teams for December.
Indeed.
Well, I have already have calls from other teams outside of what we had in December. So the 6th, I've already had there's been contact from a team in Guadeloupe, the St. Martin, because this club now, they last year it was a kind of a scrabble to get but they said they have more time now. So, and they've heard about the goodness that happened in Montserrat in December. So they want. So we're looking probably at 10, but I can't at this point handle the 10 because some of my workers, I'm not gonna call their name, they can't handle so much at once. Yeah. So, but again, I would like to hear from Kenford before we go in terms of what he felt about the tournament because he was a part of the setup. So just give it 2 more minutes, Mr. Lenny.
All right. As the president and I was starting, I had started to say it was the lack of, as the minister said, the lack of discipline, the lack of drive. I'm not sure if it came from the lack of support, but on evenings I would be there early and I'm watching teams an hour before.
Correct.
They're there hour before and they're talking, they're doing their thing together.
Right.
And then you will have the normal 5 for Montserrat reaching there, getting ready to band like Mr. Young Yearwood, getting himself band up and everything else. And then I think for the night of the BVI game, that is a serious game. And our boys were just walking in like stars. So I think on their behalf, I'm not sure if it was because it was the lack of what they're saying that I saw it. I was in the locker room. I turned, I kicked the door because knowing who I am, I know what was going on. I think that wasn't enough from them. But going forward, I know some played their heart out and they got everything at their disposal at the nights, Mr. President. But I think it is more here, because as I mentioned to them, no one, and I mean no one, I don't care who they are. On this court, it's ours. Every crack. I go on that court, I can tell you, I don't play basketball, I can tell you where every crack is, where the ball bounces and it's hollow, when you hit the rim, where the ball is likely to turn, and that's you getting into your game as a player. So the psychological aspect of it was missing from our players, not mentally strong. Some of our players who we have at the top, they sat back. So I'm asking you, Mr. President, if 2 or 3 teams can be sent from Montserrat into the tournament, local.
we were looking at the idea of that, but when we had the 7 to introduce another team from Montserrat, but it was kind of too close because remember Antigua, we were having the back and forth with Antigua, and we were actually looking at the 6, which would have made our life so much easier. But at the last hour, Antigua, the government found a way to get Antigua to Montserrat. So we then ended up with the 7. I think it was actually the day before we ended with 7. So it was kind of too close in order to shift everything around. So again, this year we have a better idea. And again, it was our first time, doing the Champions of Champions, having so much teams and trying to figure out where we're going. So this year we will have a better idea of how we're going to go about it, and if we encounter certain issues, how to deal with them.
Yeah. Our guys are very good, Lenny. You saw that. But again, I think it's the mental aspect.
Part of it.
We were beaten mentally because our boys, they were fit. And I would tell you they were fit and everything else. But it was just the mental and the disciplinary aspect of it. It was it was done.
No,
But
we're not
I would-
short. We're not short of talent
No,
at all.
no,
Raw talent. We
and
have-
these
probably
guys
had-
are
raw talent.
talented.
We probably had the best shooter in the whole tournament on our team.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I
Possibly. Teshawn.
Possibly,
Possibly.
because him and Kali from the one from
From
Davis,
Davis,
they
they
were
had it.
shooting it
Yeah,
out
they had it.
in BVI.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Kali knows Teshawn. Teshawn knows Kali.
Yes.
You understand? But at the end of the day, personally, I'm gonna say it like how it is. I don't think that Teshawn puts up enough shots in practice. In training, he doesn't put up enough shots.
So there's one thing I think we need to do more of though, and although it didn't happen in the last tournament, the tournament before it did happen, where Genzel brought the guys to my ministry and they sat
Video.
down
Yeah,
and reviewed the game.
we had
Because
some of that.
Remember, practice doesn't always have to be physical.
True.
So Genzel reviewed the game with them, and I could tell you for sure the next game they played after that review and realizing what they were doing wrong, it was like a totally different team. So there's lots of ways for us to improve the system. I'm not going to just throw the blame on everybody.
Yeah, no.
There's lots of ways for us to improve the system, but we have to work together. So it can't be that from the policy level or the ministerial level or even Pac Shaw as the president level is improving and then the players are improving. The whole system needs to rise with each other. So that's all I'm really saying and going forward. We can't have the cup half empty mentality. We need to start having the cup half full mentality and realizing that we were born into a system that has its limitations already and we can't think about those limitations. And one thing I like to think about is when they say comparison is the thief of joy. We keep saying, well, Antigua has this, St. Kitts has this. They've been developing their systems for 50 plus years.
Yep, correct.
When their system started, they were just where we were as well.
I'm not trying to cut you, Minister, but I remember in 2020, the first tournament. Oh no, it was a Libre tournament. And when Darrell was the president, that's how the two of us get so good. When Darrell brought the team, I looked at the team and I said, but Darrell, where you going with that team? There's no Termite, there's no Hollywood, there's no Davis brothers. And he said to me, he said, Gilmore, you see this team? This team is gonna take the Caribbean in the next 3 years. So said, so done.
Right, because he was planning.
He was
That's what we
actually
need to do. We
planning.
need to realize that this is the system that we were given and we have to
Guys,
build it.
All right, gentlemen, and
go on
you know we
forever.
we can speak forever on this topic, but we want to switch right over to the fishing tournament.
Love on, Paul. Love on.
The energy drink that Lavon left.
But again, I want to thank the panel. I want to thank everybody for coming here. And remember, book me for the first Thursday in
Yes.
March, just to protect my immune system.
Leave the check.
Good afternoon, everybody.
All right, so yes, so we're good to go now. So we're on to our next topic, for this afternoon's program, and of course we just had the annual fishing tournament, and many might be saying, is fishing really a sport? And I'm hoping that the chief fisheries officer he'll go into that in a bit more detail if fishing is actually a sport before we start. So we say good afternoon to none other than Brother Dan Edwards. Welcome to the sports program, sir.
Good afternoon, Lenny. Thanks very much for inviting me on.
Right. So is fishing actually a sport?
I think it's absolutely, most definitely a sport. It's one, it takes skill and it takes strategy and tactics and you definitely patience as well. And you can't win a tournament without any of those elements. And certainly to land a big wahoo takes a bit of stamina as well. So I think it absolutely qualifies as a sport, more so than darts or snooker or any of those things.
Indeed. But do we take it seriously here in the Caribbean? First up.
Possibly not as seriously as it could be. Certainly places like America, they've really got a very well developed fishing tournament scene where there are big prizes, there's nationwide leagues, and really quite a vibrant scene. It's something that doesn't happen so much here in the Caribbean. There are some islands that do, and as I understand it, there did used to be a little bit more crossover in the old days between Montserrat and Nevis, fishing some of the same tournaments together. And we used to have some boats visiting from Antigua to participate in our tournament as well. That's kind of fallen by the wayside nowadays. It would be nice to get it up and running and get it a little bit more regionally significant. yeah, perhaps we have to work in partnership with some of our neighbours to achieve that. Certainly on our own, I'm not sure the Montserrat Prize Fund is quite attractive enough to bring people the amount of gas they've got to burn to come from Nevis is probably going to use half of any potential prize money. But it's something that I definitely think there's scope to develop.
Mm-hmm. Right, so we had the annual fishing tournament on February 1st, and all on Thursday and Friday, many were looking at the sea, and it was what they call it, the whiteheads out there, and the folks were saying, once it's a fishing tournament, the water get rough, but it calmed down somewhat, and the fishing tournament was held. In your view, tell the listeners, how was it? Then we get over to the minister.
Yeah, it was certainly a bit touch and go when Antigua Met updated their forecast on Saturday afternoon. It added a couple of extra miles an hour onto their wind forecast than there was in the previous one. We checked, our trigger in the fisheries unit is really where the DMCA issued their small craft advisory warning. In this case, we didn't. We thought the weather, it was forecast to kind of fine away throughout the day on Sunday. So whilst it might have been a bit of a challenging early morning, we were hoping, kind of by lunchtime that things would have calmed down a bit. And as I understand, the conditions were kind of quite challenging out there. I don't think we'd have liked to have seen it any rougher or any windier. But all in all, it was still quite fishable. We perhaps didn't have as good a catch rate as we would have hoped. There were one or two boats who did return with not. Well, I think there was a couple that didn't weigh in any catches at all. But we also had some good fish landed. Nice fish on display.
Indeed. Honourable Osborne, your take on the annual tournament?
Well, from a policy standpoint, it's part of our support in the fishermen. So, as you know, we've had a series of town hall meetings from the ministry, and I think we had about 4 last year, Dan. And one of the things that they wanted was support in terms of the fishing tournament. So it would seem like we're having 2. Actually, we're actually planning at least one every financial year, I want to say. So there will be one later down in the year. So these form part of our incentives to get our fishermen to produce. And again, it's a sport, so it's part of us incentivizing our sports, if you want to put it that way, since we are on the sports program. Going forward, there are a lot of other things that fishing itself needs, so Dan could talk about that, but the fishermen have asked us for things like an ice machine, so we're working on procuring that, and several other things going forward. So I think the loans program, I want to just mention that here, should be rolling out very, very soon. And that itself should also support the development of fishing going forward so that the fishermen could buy more gear, buy boat engines, buy bigger boats, because we do want to encourage them also to go out further and fish for more pelagics. So we did see a few. We saw the Wahoo. I think, Dan, there was one that was about 50 pounds or close to 50 pounds. That was caught by Charlie. Yeah, it was very big. So, we are trying our best to support and encourage our fishermen.
Right, so in terms of the results, Dan, can I call you Dan? Or have to say Mr. Edwards?
No, call me Dan, please.
You want to call me John too?
Dear John.
Right, in terms of the results, how did it actually, climax?
We had, I'll just go quickly through the first places in each category. For the shoreline fishers, Lloyd Amer came in first place there. He managed 17.6 pounds. I think he had a couple of nice big cobblers, which, put his weight nice and high. And the heaviest fish out of the shoreline fishers was John Henry Allen, and that was with a 9.4 pound cobbler. Spearfishers, we actually only had 2 guys enter the spearfishing category this year. So any spearfishers listening, you should enter next year because,
what's spearfishing?
Spearfishing, shooting them with a gun. With a gun, Or,
so you want people walk with a fishing gun?
This guy.
if they're really doing it experienced.
Spear.
Experience.
Okay.
So David, the largest overall catch there was Sherman Valmon with 39.75 pounds. And the other spearfisher, David Braid, he won with it was a £13. What was it? It was mutton snapper. So yeah.
So you have meat with fish?
No, just
no, okay. No, because you said mutton snapper, so I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
We need to give Lenny a book with the pictures and the name of the fishes that are out there.
That one up. And then I guess the main category is the champion boat. That's guys that go out fishing together as a boat team. And this year it was Lanville Fergus who won that with a 78.8 pounds of fish. And followed up by Reginald Pike was second place with 61.6 pounds, and Fred Blake was third with 37 pounds. Then we also had some species categories as well. We had the heaviest wahoo. That was won by Lanville Fergus with a 45-pound wahoo. The largest kingfish was won by Oswald West. That was a 16-pound kingfish. That was actually the only one that was landed this year. And the largest silk snapper was a tie between Rexford Pike and Fred Blake again. They each had a 2.1-pound silk, so that prize was split between the two of them. We also had some special prizes. We had a woman's prize, which Mildred Kernan won. That was $100 for her. And we had special youth category prizes, which were won by Jason Smith and Michael Chambers. We actually had a few categories where there was no winner this year. The largest barracuda had to be at least £10 to qualify because, it's quite easy to catch a lot of the small one. Nobody caught a barracuda over £10, and the same for the tuna. Again, there was a £10 minimum size. None were caught bigger than that, and no dolphin either, no mahi-mahi. And we also had no prize winner for the Marlin Trophy either. But that's not exactly a common catch around Montserrat. So I think it might be a couple of years before somebody wins that one.
So is it a good thing that no barracudas were caught?
Oh, plenty of barracudas were caught.
But not the weight.
Yeah. Well, it meant there was a prize that went unclaimed. Like I said, they have to be at least £10. So if somebody wants to specifically target barracuda one time, look for the big ones. They can. I think a lot of them were kind of caught as bycatch whilst trolling for some of the other bigger fish.
Well, from yourself and John's point of view, from the fishers, what was the feedback like?
The feedback's been pretty positive. I think everybody enjoyed the event. It was unfortunate that the weather wasn't as perfect as we'd have liked it to have been. I think the visibility could have been better for the spearfishers as well, and certainly the swells and the surges that were coming ashore weren't great for the shore fishers. Out of, I think we had about 16 or 17 shore fishers who'd actually entered, and only 5 of them weighed in any catch. So you can only assume that the other guys didn't catch anything, and it would have been quite challenging, I think, from the shore in some of those conditions. So I think everybody had a great time. It's perhaps not the most ideal time of the year. Initially, this tournament is scheduled to kind of happen around about November time. We had to postpone it last November due to various capacity. We had some people off sort of long term within the ministry. It was postponed this year till just after Christmas. Hopefully, we'll get back onto the November kind of rhythm again. I think that's the time of year when we'll have the biggest landings of wahoos and some of those big pelagic fish. So hopefully we'll get back to that rhythm this year.
Well,
okay.
Go ahead.
I have a quick question.
As well.
What is the process of fishers going out, coming back? Just walk us through that. What time do they come out? Is there a checklist to see who goes out?
Yeah, well, myself and my fisheries officer, Chase Buffon, we were down at the port from 4 a.m. On Sunday morning. We were checking out all the vessels who had, I should say, first of all, to participate in the tournament. We have to get the fishers to register for it in advance. That's just so that we can be prepared, make sure we've got enough prize bags, kind of participation gifts for everybody and things like that. They can then turn up. They can depart from the port from 4 a.m. in the morning after having an inspection from my fisheries team, just to make sure that they've got their life jackets and safety equipment, enough extra water, and also just checking to make sure there are no long lines on the boat, which is one of the rules. They then spend the day fishing. The fishing actually starts from 5 a.m. They can leave from 4 in order to get to the fishing grounds, but fishing for boat fishers, spear fishers and shore fishers starts from 5 a.m. They can fish right through until the weighing is from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. And as long as they presented their catch at the weighing station before 4 p.m., then it's a valid entry into the competition. If they're any later than that, it's kind of disqualified. And we did have a few grumblings sort of this year about the congestion. I guess everybody trying to get landed on one slipway at the same time, as close to 4 o'clock as possible. But I guess at the moment there's not an awful lot we could do about that. We might look at the rules next year to see if we can make it as long as the boat's tied up in the port.
And what about the shoreline fishers?
The shoreline fishers, again, they can start fishing any time from 5 a.m. Dawn is quite a productive time actually for shoreline fishing. And I think it's noteworthy actually that the two guys who won first and second in the biggest fish, they were actually at the weigh-in station by, I think it was probably about half 11 that morning. Certainly a long time before the fishing deadline. But I think they'd fished the peak period when the sun's that high in the sky in the shallow water of the shore. You're not going to catch anything that big unless you're very lucky. So I think they focused their efforts at the peak time. And likewise for the spearfishers as well. I guess it's a bit more challenging for them at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's still kind of pitch black outside. But as soon as the sun rises, they would be fishing. And I think in order to get the kind of weights of fish they did, they spent quite a lot of time in the water that day.
We have a caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. How are you all doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question for Mr. Edwards. I know he likes to be called Dan. Quite a few people saw the posting on Spirit of Montserrat with the fish from the tournament. And I had two questions really. What would you say in terms of the species? Because they were saying, they didn't know that they had all these different species of fish around Montserrat. When I told them, yes, they were caught all in Montserrat waters, they were really surprised. I don't know if Mr. Edwards can comment on the different species that were caught, from grouper to hind to some marcy there and other things. I don't know if he can comment on that.
And the mutton snapper.
Snapper, yeah. And then there's one other question. I don't know if this will ever be resolved. The locals call a fish a particular name. But officially, and I know that Mr. Edwards, we had that issue last year. I don't know how bad it was this year. For them to accept that this is the correct name for a particular fish. Because some of the local fishermen, they're still, that's what the name they know it as from since they were young. And they will not call it, or they don't accept it as, whatever the official name is. So I don't know if that can be or will be resolved. And then, as I said, the number of species that were caught. Okay?
All right. Thank you, caller.
Yeah, so in terms of the well, I guess the naming and the number of species somewhat goes hand in hand. I think we've got over 200 species of fish that kind of appear in our landings data in Montserrat. They're the ones that we keep to eat. On top of that, there are a whole load of species that aren't harvested, that kind of just live on the reef. So I couldn't even begin to give you a number for the amount of fish we actually have in Montserrat. The records probably aren't that well developed, but yeah, it's a hell of a lot. And yeah, certainly the fishing tournament really doesn't kind of reflect the full variety of them. Where it's kind of the prizes are giving out for things that are kind of only really caught with a line. It doesn't really include so many of the pot fish, because partly it was as a disincentive to encourage people to pull pots and land it as kind of fish that they'd caught with a hook, because pots aren't included within this particular tournament, which is actually partly why we're thinking of the potential for a second tournament, just to focus on some of those other species that are eaten that are perhaps not as visible or valued in this particular tournament. So yes, there's an awful lot of species, and I think we need to do a bit to raise awareness of the diversity of fish species that we've got in Montserrat. I've got plans and ambitions for a little guidebook. I don't know if any of you have seen one that was made a few years ago. A little kind of guidebook. There was one made a few years ago by an agency, one of our development partners called JNCC, that included all of the different species of coral that we've got in Montserrat. A little plastic actually booklet made out of these sheets of hard plastic, so that didn't get water damaged. I'd very much like to create a similar one showing the range of fish species we've got. I know my fisheries officer Chase has got some ideas for a signboard showing kind of some of the key species. So yeah, it's definitely something we would like to do. What was the other element of the question? Naming. Yes, that did come up a little bit. There were some arguments over whether the
local names.
Yeah, the cobbler that the shore fishing guys caught. Certainly Lloyd, who's quite a keen kind of sport shore fisherman. Him and sort of most similar anglers who enter it at that level know it as a pomfret, because it's a very high value sport species. People travel a long way to potentially catch some of those. In Montserrat, it's known as a cobbler, and to kind of add further confusion into the mix, I guess, when you go to different islands, they have different local names that can be the same name as we use in Montserrat for a different species. So it gets very complicated, which is why kind of in the scientific realm, where my fisheries unit operates, generally we translate the common names that are used here into the Latin name, and that's what we try and use for all our kind of scientific purposes and all of our international reporting. Obviously there are some sort of discrepancies within Montserrat, so perhaps we need to kind of create some kind of table to show the different names that something goes by, and that's something that we'll include in the materials we'd like to
all
develop.
right, can I have a question? I know that we have borders. Is the same border around Montserrat in terms of going out and where we can fish? How many nautical miles offshore is that? Is it still the same?
We've actually got quite an extensive exclusive fishing zone that was declared back in the early 1980s when maritime law kind of started to be developed. It was in response to it was the Cod Wars between the UK and Iceland, started kind of raising the questions of who actually had the right to the fish at sea. So whilst we do only have a 3 nautical mile territorial waters, which is a lot less than most nations have, we have claimed our exclusive fisheries zone out to the median line with our neighbours, or to the 200-mile limit, which is the furthest you can claim to. We've done the same with the seabed as well. That was done back in the kind of early to mid 1980s, when these kind of great leaps forward were made. Arguably since then, it would, there was perhaps should have been some opportunity for us to kind of extend our our marine waters to the 12 nautical miles, and to declare a formal EEZ rather than just, at the moment we've got what would be called an EFZ, an exclusive fishery zone that gets all of the living things within the sea and the seabed. But yeah, there's a missing element when it comes to our governance of those offshore waters.
And my last question, and for someone who has done it before, how can they get back into the fray of being a fisher person, and what is the procedure? Because I was trying, but
essentially in Montserrat, well, for shore fishers, anybody can start however they like. You know, you just need to pick up a hand line, get some bait, and get a bit of practice in at the shoreline. It's a little bit more complicated when it comes to fishing from a boat. Obviously, once you've got your vessel, it should be registered as a fishing vessel. All vessels in Montserrat need to be registered as a fishing vessel, and then there's another process on top of that called the licensing. So the registration takes care of the kind of safety element, and then the fishing license is really just to kind of make sure that you comply with the licensing rules. And yeah, kind of once that's in place, you're free to go fishing. And yeah, we're quite fortunate in Montserrat. We don't have a highly restrictive kind of fisheries management regime like they do certainly some other neighbouring islands. So yeah, you're kind of free to fish as soon as you've got that registration and license in place. Yeah.
all right. So thank you, Dan. Anything you would like to say in your minister, or Dan, would you like to say in any departing words to the public?
I guess I would like to thank our sponsors for the fishing tournament, in particular the Bank of Montserrat, who are our title sponsor, and they've helped us with some of the running costs of this event. We also had some support from MS Osborne and Montserrat Arts Council, and as well the Royal Montserrat Police Service, and of course the ZJB, who provided some coverage of the event. And thanks to our judges as well, who did it out of the kindness of their heart. And yeah, all the staff who worked very hard at the ministry to help put the event on. Oh, and of course the fishers for participating. It would have been nothing without them.
Indeed. Right, so Honourable Osborne, your final words as well in terms of the fishing tournament, and what next can we expect?
So just to piggyback off what Dan said, you just want to thank everybody. It's been a community effort so far. So not only our fishers, but even the people who help to arrange the fishing tournament. We have Bruce Ferrara and Alain who help us every year, Captain Johnny, John Jeffers. These people help us every year without actually looking any pay. So it's a community effort. What I would just like to say is that as the minister and from the ministry, we'll continue to support the efforts of our fishermen. I do like the current setup in that we get a lot of feedback now from our fishermen. We have scheduled town hall meetings that we usually have, and they're very well attended. So I hope that continues into the future. So a lot of the ideas that you see us coming out with aren't just our ideas. So when you have the buy-in of the stakeholders from the very onset, then you set up the arrangement so that it becomes somewhat successful. So again, although the weather conditions weren't the best, the fishing tournament, I think, will get better over time, especially with the suggestions that we're getting coming up. Like, I'll give you an example. Some people said maybe that we're bringing in fish, and especially later down in the year, where we might catch more of what they call the demersals. And I'm learning the names because obviously I'm with Dan. I'm learning the names. So then we can probably start looking at things like fish fries throughout the day and other stuff. So we're getting the suggestions. We're taking them on board. We're going to see what we can do to make the fishing tournament bigger going forward. But just wanted to say a general thank you to all the people of Montserrat and everybody who has supported us, and just continue to support us, and we as the ministry will continue to support everybody else as well too. So, Eddie, again, thank you to the group here for inviting us on. I think you guys are always receptive of us. Damien, Kenton, Cardell, our coach. Yeah, thank you. Lenny, thank you as well too.
Indeed. No problem. Well, God bless, and Dan, all the best, and I hope that we have the other fishing tournament in November when, when the catch is good. The catch is good then.
So we could get a dip and Altio fish, right?
Yeah, that's
Walk
all.
right
That's
into
all.
that.
Boy,
Yeah.
we waiting.
It's all good. It's all good. So we move along, and it's an extended local segment this afternoon, and of course from basketball to fishing, and we're going to turn our attention now to some cricket action, in terms of what would have transpired at a meeting recently, and we do have the president who is around. I don't know if he's gonna. He could go on the other side right over here.
Yeah.
They say, come right here. Talk to us from here. That's what they say. They say, talk from here. You know, they want you on this side with me. They want to make sure that you hold me accountable of certain things. Right. So you put on a headphone. The president of the Montserrat Cricket Association.
Yeah, the experts stay on that side over there.
Oh, so you're calling me an expert now?
Yes.
Well, we do have brother Raymond KB in, and of course he is the president of the Montserrat Cricket Association. Happy New Year to you, sir, and tell us what's the latest after the recent meeting on Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Lenny. Good afternoon to Montserrat. Good afternoon to those listening online. We did schedule a meeting. The first meeting didn't come off as expected, so we rescheduled, and we had a meeting on Tuesday, and we had a decent turnout. I was still hoping for a bit more persons, but all in all, it was a decent turnout, and I think that it augurs well because it shows that there are some die-hard cricket fans, because most of the persons that were present were also the persons that we would see whenever the team is practicing, like last year when they were practicing before going out to the tournaments. You know, the most of the persons that would have attended the meetings, they were there supporting the guys. Yeah, that's how it went. We had different things that we discussed. We looked at we looked at grassroots cricket, we looked at senior men's, we looked at female cricket, and we also looked at the juniors in terms of under 15, under 17, under 19.
In terms of those little segments, what was the response like, and where are we going in terms of that?
Well, one of the first things that I told the audience is that we have a situation where if we don't nip it in the bud now, within the next 6 to 10 years, cricket would become non-existent. I say that against the backdrop that we don't really have cricket in the schools like we used to have. And right now we may be able to feature an under-19 team, but the other junior tournaments, because I've been waiting to get a list. As a matter of fact, today is the last that the Leeward Islands Cricket Board was calling me to get a list of names for under 15. I am hoping that I would still be able to get a few names, because then if we can even send 3 or 4 players to training, it's better than 0.
So that's the under 19 leg of things. So the under 15. Let's take this call first, and then we'll get back to the discussion. Caller, good afternoon, and welcome to the sports program.
Good afternoon. Not just to the panel, everybody listening. I just wanted to piggyback there, Mr. KB there, for real. You talking about worrying about cricket becoming non-existent. You know, I remember early 2000, Stadium Park. There was always like 3 buses, school buses, and they used to have to go and make 2 trips. The amount of young men playing cricket. You know what I mean? Those are the days where just before the Lyman Bakers of the world, you know, they got their big moments and stuff. You're talking about if you go to the other islands right now, every village has 2 cricket teams, 2 basketball teams, 2 football teams. You need to get back to it. Cricket as a Caribbean staple, we need to get back to it, and we need to be in it. And that's all I really wanted to say. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, caller. Right. Continue on, Mr. KB.
Right. Well, what I did say in terms of the under 15, because there should be a training camp coming up for under 15. So right now the focus is on trying to identify any under 15 players we have that we may be able to send to Antigua so that they can benefit from any training that is available. The program for this year for the Leeward, for Cricket West Indies, even though there's not much money in the kitty, there's still an active program which is going to run. I think it starts in about April and runs right down to July, because you still have different tournaments happening. The major thing is that most of these tournaments will be happening in Antigua because of the fact that it's cost effective. You have all the teams in Antigua. You can have 4 games being played at any one time because of the different grounds. So basically, as a result of this is going to again shift the normal Leeward Islands tournament. So currently, the tournament is looking more like September, October again, right? So, but we just have to wait and see how that pans out, because you know that if the regular games run up to July, and then you have CPL basically right after that, the only other window of opportunity is in the latter part of the year. One. You go ahead.
No, you mentioned that you have the CPL. So is it that you're gonna Leeward's board, they're gonna try and do everything rushed again, or what?
Well, I am hoping that it won't be rushed, because at this point you would be seeing what is possible, what is gonna be happening. So they should be in a better position to finalize schedules, so that you know in advance and you're not in a situation where you have to be getting ready today for tomorrow. The other thing to it too is that it's very necessary. It's very necessary to know in advance how the schedule is going to be, because the association has to write to different government departments to get time off for players. And one of the things that the departments do not like is if we write them today for tomorrow, and one can understand that, because the whole thing is the department does not just revolve around the cricketers. So you have other persons who may be planning vacation, whatever, and the heads of departments need to be in a position to better organize their staff, as it were. What I was going to go on to say, though, from the meeting that we had, one of the main things behind that is that we wanted to expand the membership, being that if you expand the membership and you have dues, then we can start somewhere. We cannot always be dependent on just having the government financing everything. So we have to find ways and means to see how we can get the ball rolling. Because like I said earlier, if we don't get the ball rolling, then soon from now we won't be talking about cricket at all.
Okay, well, I think, I attended a meeting and I found it quite productive. I think 2 persons in the listening public at this time who would not have been able to attend, I think we want to give you the opportunity to invite them to become members, and we know who they can contact, and the logistics about getting their membership paid up for a year, whatever they need to do. Because I think this is some real-time money that you would need off the bat to assist with your training and development of the grassroots program as you're trying to bring it back on board. So here is your chance to pitch to the public.
Well, basically, what I would say right now, we really would like to see the membership grow. And, in considering it, you don't only have to reside on Montserrat. You can be in the diaspora and you can also be a member. If you have that interest in cricket, in seeing Montserrat cricket grow, I mean, just last year, we performed without having everything we needed to have. And I think the guys were very creditable in their performances. If we have what we need, just imagine how far we can go. And this is where we need your support, because we as an executive cannot do it alone. We cannot just say, okay, we're going to get $5 from the government and that is going to have to stretch. Cricket is the most expensive game that is played. The cricketers themselves, they spend anywhere in the region of 5,000, maybe more, because bats, a decent bat now is costing between 500 and 700 pounds, right? Whereas 20 years ago, you might have get a lot of these guys playing with bats that they don't. The guys now are going to tell you that if they don't have a proper bat, they're not going out there to play cricket. That's one aspect. There's the pads, there's the tips. Every game, and I always make this analogy, every game that is played in cricket, every time you play a game, you have to use new balls. Unlike football, unlike basketball, where you can reuse the ball for several games, you can't do that in cricket, right? So, in terms of the membership, you can do one of two things. You can contact.
We have a caller ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller. Go ahead.
No, it's not caller.
No, it's mid-off. Run a singer.
Of course, he's still a caller.
Okay, let me right. So I believe I have a $5 charge for being missing today.
Well, more than $5 because I was approached because of January, so we'll have to talk both.
Okay. I want to comment on something that my friend Mr. KB is saying. And I have to ignore the TV because something is going on. I have an idea, but my idea can only work if we are willing to adopt what we call maroon type rebuilding. Now, we're going to have financial problems for the next 40 years in terms of funding cricket and all the sports in Montreal. This is my idea. So the embankment down at the field, I don't care where it is, which side it is. We have to build a decent-sized clubhouse, right, for all the sports. And we will serve lunch, and maybe on Saturdays you have specials. But people and sports people can come to the park, relax, have two 85-inch TVs, watching any sport you want, have a little bar there, a little restaurant, and you raise funds. But how it's going to be done? So I can't say government will do it because I know what the answer is going to be. So here what it is. We start planning it. We want 5 goats. Get the public to donate 5 goats, and we have goat water specialists who can cook them for us. Then we ask all the masons and contractors to help. Tell us what you can do. Right? Now, the question will be, where's the material going to come from? That's where we want government to help. But not just government. We have to also raise funds to get some of the material, but we want government to help. And you know what happened then? We put lights in the park. And people go and exercise at night. When they finish, they relax, have a drink, have a sandwich, etc., etc. So when you have World Cup and all these things, where's the place going to be? Right there, everybody comes. Now, what's the benefit of everybody coming? The bar makes some money. You have to employ somebody. But it's a start. You're raising your own funds. If we stay like this, nothing will happen. And I agree with my friend, the president, who said, if we continue down this road, the game may be extinct. It's true. Because there's no program in the school, or let me qualify it, no proper program, neither in the primary school or in the secondary school. And the government needs to now look at what used to work and try and model it. You don't have to redo anything. And get coaches in there and run your programs at primary, community, secondary school, clubs, and to the national level. So those are my initial thoughts, and I don't want nobody to shoot down my maroon project.
No, but both the honorable minister just sent me a message and said to tell Boof thank you. So I don't know if he's gonna run with it.
Well, it sounds so.
He just said to tell Boof thanks.
If he didn't mean it, he genuinely mean it.
Right.
But I feel sometimes we sit back so much and want to burden government. We have so many Masons that love cricket, so many contractors that love cricket. Just tell us what you can do, and be committed to do what you can do. And the end of the day, and that's how we go approach the Pavilion too, you know. But let's get the clubhouse. We can attack the Pavilion in the same way. Right? And it can be done. All right?
Yep.
So just food for thought, and I'll listen.
All right, no problem. Thanks much.
Yeah.
So someone is asking, what is the membership fee?
That's $20 per month.
$20 per month. Okay. So no, let me keep the maths out today now. Okay, good. I was about to ask if you get a certain what's the number that you're looking for in terms of membership?
Oh, the more the
No limit. No limit.
No limit. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
The more the merrier, because then, if the membership is expanded, and you're able to, it then enhances what programs you can offer. Because, for instance, right now, we're waiting for certain things to happen in terms of getting games back and that sort of thing, right? Where I have been in contact with the sports department, and I am hopeful that very shortly the roller issue is going to be resolved, which would put us in a better position to plan games as opposed to having to wait. Like last year, we had to be waiting until we got confirmation that we could get a roller on loan before we could actually say, okay, yes, we're going to play this weekend or we're going to play next weekend. Once this situation is resolved, we hope that we'll have a lot more games. And it won't just be hardball games, because we're also looking at having a softball league, because everybody is not going to play hardball cricket, and you don't want to leave out anybody. While you're accommodating for a certain thing, you don't want to leave out anybody, right? And sometimes people start playing softball and realize, well, listen, yes, I play the softball, but I believe I can manage the hardball. And they migrate to the hardball, and that's where it starts going.
Someone is asking, who do you actually pay the money to? Now, you as in when you get the money, but who do they pay?
Right. So what we're doing, the secretary is going to be setting up, she's going to be doing some stuff where you can actually pay the monies via the Bank of Montserrat mobile app straight into the account of the Montserrat Cricket Association, right? And what you do when you pay in like that, of course, you would put your name, so that we know who is paying what. Because if there's no names to it, and a lot of people pay via the mobile app, you'll just be seeing money coming in, and you won't be able to really apportion it to any particular individual, right? But if persons want more information, what they can do, they can contact myself. My number is 492-1016. And once they do that, if I need to put them onto another member of the thing, then I will do that. I don't really have all the numbers in my head right now, so that's why I'm not really, rattling them off.
And you don't really want to put people's numbers out there like that, eh?
Well, that too.
Then they don't have a life.
The other thing I would say is that persons who may be interested, they can also, once they see other members of the executive, you have Mr. Kenton Weeks, you have Mr. Shernell Burns, you can even contact Stevel Rodney, you can speak to Claudia Weeks, you can speak to Anon Williams. Once you get in contact with any of these persons, they would be able to tell you, okay, yes, this is what you need to do. And if they're not sure what certain numbers are, for instance, again, the account number for the Bank of Montserrat. Again, I know it starts with 8, but I can tell you, once you get in contact with me, I can give you the information. What I'll try to do too, because we have a...
We have a caller already.
We have a caller.
Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to support what Buffon said there about the Maroon, because it can work, and I'm glad that the Honorable John said to thank this Buffon, because I don't know if anyone of you remember, while we were at Church Park, there was by the scoreboard, that wall coming from the cemetery back to go into Richmond area. It was done through Maroon. Some people donate cement, some blocks, and the tradesmen, they come and work. I don't know how well it will work now, because I don't know if the love for the sport is there as before at the time. But it was done through Maroon. That wall comes straight on there. I remember that. I don't know who remember it.
Well,
but it's a good idea.
Well, I won't know that.
All right, thanks.
Oh, yeah. You're too young. It was your time.
All right, thanks so much.
All right.
Yeah, you were saying, Mr. KB? You were saying you don't remember the account number.
Right, because it's not something. But what I was going on to say is that there's a Montserrat Cricket Association Facebook page, and what can be done is that we can make the information available also on the Facebook page, so that persons who may wish to become a member and who may wish to start paying the dues, because ideally we would like for persons to start paying dues from this month, and it will be a monthly thing, right? We're looking to all and sundry, because we really need these funds to push cricket forward, right?
Well, you mentioned what's in the pipeline, some players you're looking to identify. It seems like a busy afternoon, as we say. Good afternoon and welcome to the sports program.
Big Lenny, good afternoon.
Hi, caller.
Good afternoon to everybody else. Not single out nobody this afternoon, because you're busy. Listen here. President, me did the meeting, but me not say nothing there.
So
but
after me reach
home, after me reach home, pertaining to the membership, I better we get a card. I better get, right now, because you want funds, you don't have to do nothing like to spend money for the card, but you better forget on card. And when you pay your dues, who said pick up, that you see how much paying and you got your receipt. Okay, I mean I have a lot of money than in a bank just like that. So there we get on card. And then thing. So when you come around next time, you could say, well, me paying $40, me paying $100, me paying that. If you understand me, I said, me got my receipt, you got your receipt. And for the membership, no left the membership part for the executive. Not put too much of burden. Let the executive run the something. And even at the membership, we can get one president, vice president, and so forth and so forth. For the right and that they know thing now can even take some weight. Take some weight off and people over in the diaspora. If a diaspora, I think they're going to send nothing because they're poorer. Diaspora. Right? we think down and then they face instead of facing the cricket association that are going to run their face, they face the membership. And then the membership for the thing now work with the cricket association. Okay then.
Indeed. Thank you very much, caller.
Good. All right, yeah.
So anything else you need to say, Mr. KB, as we get close to the end of this segment?
Well, I just want to reiterate that we're looking forward to the support. We would like to have...
All right. Go ahead.
We would like to have all and sundry supporting because, again, like I say, we're not looking at just doing one level of cricket. The last couple of meetings I have been in, the Leeward Islands Cricket Board, there's a lot of emphasis being placed on female cricket. We have just a few of the girls from the Leeward Island Stormers who incidentally won the Cricket West Indies T20 tournament. The whole object of the exercise, I know that we don't have anybody readily available at this time, but I am still hoping that if we get girls interested within the next 2 years or so, we may be able to see somebody breaking through. If they get to the Leeward Islands, who knows what's next? Right now we have three players on the Leeward Islands, in the Leeward Islands setup that actually play for West Indies, and we want to see that expanding. Most of the players on the side for the West Indies, a lot of them, they have already pushed past 30. So if we can get some of our girls into the setup, because it's just a matter of time before a lot of the current players are going to be, no longer playing at that level. So if we can get some of our younger players interested in the game, and they themselves may find themselves in the West Indies setup at some point in time.
Indeed. Sounds good. Well, Mr. KB, when will we be having a cricket match a little bit before you go? Or Salem? Well, I heard on the radio this morning we need to say the Edward Diamond Park.
Yeah, well,
your vice job, boy.
No. I was just thinking about the park, and I was over there on the weekend, and it needs some work. The grass structure is significantly deteriorated. I believe that there's still a lot of mole crickets over there, and something would have to be done. In terms of when we're gonna have cricket, like I said, I have been in contact with the Department of Sports, and I know they're working diligently to get the current roller up and going, because my understanding is that the part's already an island, and it's just a matter of when Public Works can get it done. Once that is done, then we will definitely see cricket happening.
Okay, sounds good. Well, all the best, Mr. KB, and I hope that after this program that you get a lot of calls in terms of membership.
Well, I certainly hope so too, because I really, really, really want to see Montserrat cricket move forward.
Indeed, thank you. Right, so that's that, and we're still on the local side of things for this afternoon. And just this week, we saw some news in terms of football and what's happening with the Montserrat Football Association. I don't know who's going to take first knock on that. Kenford, I'll allow you to go first. I know you choose your words wisely.
Under the act of what is happening at the moment, it is a good and a sad thing for Montserrat, and I do hope that it can be resolved as quickly as possible, because the future of this country, we need it. Our youngsters who are out there now looking to asking for that grassroots system, I'm hoping that they can get a chance to come out and be a part of something. And the normalization committee, I do hope that they get in and we choose someone and we get that aspect of it going again, because we really need this, and getting our football up and running is something that is really, really, really needed in this country. As I would say, for that, I will come back with some other punching notes.
They call it a normalization committee.
Yeah.
Which insinuates that it was things have been abnormal.
Yeah.
Right? And we're looking to get things normalized in this country. We know that FIFA has funds that are readily available to all the different FAs around the region, around the world. And we'd love to see that the sport of football grow. I know there's a lot of passion for it here on Ireland. I'd love to go and see some local football being played not just the one-offs, like a league. And I could, just like how me and Kenford banter about Arsenal and Man U.
Yeah.
Perhaps, we would have CLM FC versus Kodjo FC. And, we say, look, Kodjo going to deal with it tonight and so forth. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And I hope the normalization committee could bring normalcy to MFA.
Mm-hmm. Damien?
It's a topic close to my heart. But like I said, it was a move destined to happen. We have a caller. Caller, go right ahead. Oh, right. It was a move destined to happen. I could only talk from the standpoint of growing up and watching football, especially in Sailing Park, with the different clubs and stuff. And it's even sad to see that the little small play nets around the communities, those have been, I would say, demolished right now. Basically, the nets are gone, and so it would be nice to see that even scrimmage with the guys down at the park, that they could go to the football field and have a run out. So it would actually save us as well, because we run track and we play cricket. That would be a clash of sporting activities in regards to if we're playing cricket and they're playing scrimmage on the field, emergencies and these things would happen. So I hope that this normalization committee will now start bring back things from back in the past, or even let's go back to the grassroots and come up again and see where we're at.
Well, I think even with all that is being said, we also want to look at the rebuilding of the female football program, which is just as important as the male football program. I think the grassroots, we were seeing some young girls emerging, and then that fell by the wayside. So I think generally it's not a bad thing, and it's not Montserrat. I mean, this happened in other countries, namely Dominica, Trinidad, where they stepped in to make sure that stuff were, got everything on board. And we know that FIFA doesn't mess with government doesn't mess with FIFA. So if they're sending in their their troops, as we would say, it's because they want to see that the sport doesn't die. Because easily FIFA could have just said, okay, throw up their hands and walk away, and we would be left
or ban us.
Right, So it is good that the input is coming from them. Maybe all things being equal, we didn't want it to reach this point, but it has. So I think we just need to band around. Those of us who are part of any sporting organization or in the field can assist where necessary. I think
difficult to assist because we don't. They say they bring in a normalization committee.
Yeah, well, when I say
we don't know exactly what's went wrong.
Right, but when I say assist,
not to kill you, but we need to have a press conference to find out what exactly. So I can't fix what we don't know.
Yes, but press conference with whom? When I was speaking about
FIFA themselves
right.
have
Well, you know how FIFA operates. FIFA operates as its own governing body. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It doesn't answer to anybody. It doesn't respect. If I want to use that word, it doesn't respect governors. Governance from government.
I think eventually they're going to say something, because you can't ask somebody to pick up and do things normally if you don't know what went wrong.
Well, under the constitution of what they have, FIFA board, they will eventually put out a
report. A report, but they won't. They're not
it's not for us to be sitting here and say, well, why
exactly
they're not going to sit on the table like that easily.
What I'm saying is, we don't want to have to go down this road again. Eventually, whether by report or by press conference, we have to find out what exactly went wrong. Right now we speculate.
I think the word you need to use is we would like to find out, because if FIFA decides that they're gonna seal that report, who are you?
No,
I understand from a country standpoint that we should find out.
We are assuming things.
We are too.
Right?
Because I'm going to show you a case. Little do you know, Argentina, Brazil, and anyone can call and bet me, Argentina, Brazil, Costa Rica went on to this same platform
Nigeria as well.
And they didn't say much and anything else. So I know what our two colleagues are saying.
It comes out, eh?
It came out.
It came out
unofficially.
Exactly.
No, it wasn't unofficial because I read it.
Yes, but they would publish a report, but to say that they're gonna give you what you want when you want it.
No. You don't need.
You just need to know where.
You say bringing in a normalization committee.
Yes.
Because you said we're presuming things are abnormal.
Yes.
Right? Somewhere in the correspondence.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, they set out a press release. We have pinpoint what went wrong.
Yeah.
What we think, and we have to know what we need to prevent this from happening again.
Okay.
It's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to have to happen, and I think the sooner the better, because the normalization committee is set for 1 year.
For a year. So yes.
So I'm assuming, and I choose my words carefully because I don't want to indict anyone.
Yeah.
You know what went wrong, and some of the words used early in that in the press release sound really a bit harsh. So we need to know what went wrong, how we're going to fix it, how we're going to prevent it from happening. And FIFA operates that way. But remember, FIBA is similar. Volleyball comes under an international umbrella. All the other sports come under it. And it's something that could be learned. We like to be learned for everybody. So we don't. Montserrat brand, the brand Montserrat. So FIFA is going to take care of that FA aspect of it. MFA, that's FIFA. But the brand Montserrat, the M at the beginning of that is
ours.
It's ours.
Yeah.
And if you have these releases coming out, it affects not just football, it affects the whole brand of Montserrat. And we don't want to have our name in that light again or anytime soon in any sport, whether it be cricket, tennis, golf, what have you. And I think that's going to be an important aspect in this whole process.
Someone is jumping in here and saying, won't there be a local committee set up at some point again?
There will be. That's what I'm saying. Has to be.
That's all in the making, whereas now they will sit and they will start. I think they have not much a vetting process where they will send out correspondence and everything else. And that's why I said eventually they will have to bring something to the public, to the forefront. I guess they will have some talks with locals and other shareholders in sense, and you have things that you can look into. And you go onto the FIFA page at this moment, and if you know law or anything there's so many legal documents there that you can look into, and you can see under each criteria or each rule or regulations or way how they run, ethics committee and everything else, and it's right there. And you can study it and understand what is really going on.
But you hear he says, at the beginning, that's one that got me. Oversee the affairs of Montserrat Football Association, citing an exceptional crisis and institutional paralysis within the organization. Those are very
strong words.
And we don't want that to happen. We don't need that to the brand Montserrat.
All right, so that's that, and I think someone else is trying to get a message in. Only need to know why it failed, or one need to know. One need to know. Why,
I think we are actually flagging stuff that we know. I mean, yes, we are tiptoeing about why it failed. If you set up an organization with a president, a vice president, and all of his executive members, and then you have one person doing everything onto themselves, we know why it failed. I think FIFA just had enough. We need to just call the white elephant in the room. So what we are hoping when the new organization is voted in via the Constitution, that they do not repeat the same thing. I mean, we all know why it failed. I mean, we are pretending that we don't know. We know.
We're assuming.
Well, I'm not assuming. I am not assuming. We are on the ground, and we know.
There
are things that we turned a blind eye to, and things that we, just like how we're sitting here saying basketball will be played because of the betterment of the island, when we know for a fact that the children are interested in playing basketball, they just want to get out of the house. So because we know, but we turn a blind eye to it. So it's not that we are not assuming. We know.
But some of us know.
We look. We
maybe
look
those,
beyond.
Maybe those who are close.
We look beyond.
And there to sports may know some things, but do we know everything?
We don't need to know everything, but we know.
We know everything.
And guess what, Kenton? You will never know everything.
And then there are others who are just laymen.
One thing I can tell you,
sports fans.
FIFA protects its own.
Who don't know anything at all. And you catch what I'm saying? Yeah. So it in for transparency and so forth, I know it's going to come out eventually, and we want to have it clean.
I think I just got a message from a parent. They said
I'm getting all kind of
the
messages.
the normalization committee is in place, because obviously our young ones are not playing any football from last October or November, and we don't have clubs, no grassroots, what's happening, and it has been over a period of time, and our boys and girls are not traveling, etc., etc., etc. So I guess those are some of the things that were plaguing. But again, we don't know what had happened for it to stop in the first place. But as a parent saying these things, and that's locally.
It's clear. It's clear.
But as I said in my opening statement, sad.
It's sad.
But still, maybe it's a good thing.
And the sad thing is that M is in front of it.
Yeah, the monster.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, guys, we can go on this for a very long time, and I don't know if it's because it's the first program, but I feel like I have the energy to go until midnight. Talking sports.
So we could take Gravestone though.
But we're pressed for time, and quickly we got the ICC Cricket World Cup. We had the what is it? The Under-19 World Cup as well, and the ladies, they've been busy. So can we touch the ladies, Damien, Kenty, in terms of Cardella ladies? So.
Yeah. What, the West Indies Championship?
Yes. Just quickly, because we want to do quick predictions in terms of who's coming out of which group for the World Cup.
Talking about that, y'all owe me.
Oh, you what?
What?
For what happened?
That's last year, man.
Statute of limitation, man. Not with the whitewash, not with that whitewash.
No, it was a whitewash. It was a whitewash.
Not with that whitewash.
No, it wasn't whitewash. It was a whitewash. As a cricketer, I'm disrespected. It wasn't whitewash.
Time was fast.
Wow. Well, for me, Lenny, I must say kudos to the Leeward Islands women coming up with the T20. That was fantastic news to wake up, and see that we have won a championship, and I think it would electrify the islands, and hopefully rub off on the men coming up in a couple of months.
Wow.
And
a day or two.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the West Indies team. The Leeward Islands men team. The 4-day championship is coming up. Kudos to Jamaica. They won the 50 over. I think our ladies were tired. They showed that a little bit of fatigue in the 50 over. But we go from here. It's a good step, and to see that Leeward Island ladies has it in them to win a T20. Ladies played, I think, T20 better. Well, our West Indies women play T20 better, so that's a good step.
Well, we're looking at finally the things heading north in terms of dominance, so to speak. Jamaica has been around a while, but I think this is the first time we've won anything on the female, and it must be commended. They played well. They played as a unit. Kudos to the coaching and the management as well. I agree with Damien. The 50 over, it could be a little bit of a hangover from championship, and sometimes to refocus. But I think it was more that they were fatigued and so forth. But something to work with. I'm grateful for some good news coming to the Leeward.
Well, we're gonna splice a lot, Guy. Who do you think gonna walk with the men's Under-19 World Cup final tomorrow? England versus India. Who do you guys see doing that? Quickly, can we have a bit of the World Cup?
I have India. India looks like a team that right now with their batting lineup, their bowling is shaky, but their batting, they have batting go straight down to number 9, number 8.
Who bat last? I think. Oh well. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I could see it going either way.
Because England, I think England family, they're batting around the captain.
Captain, yeah.
And he has been holding up his hand and doing it for the whole tournament. So I hope he doesn't fail tomorrow, because if he fails tomorrow,
that's it.
Yeah.
Let me just get a stick here. So to Shanisha Hector, well done, and I'm proud of you. So if you're listening and anyone's listening from Antigua, well done. You've done it, aka Johnny. So yeah.
But in terms of that, for that reason, Dave, I'm not gonna jump with you.
I'm India. I'm England.
I'm going
England. I am England.
I think the captain is due a poor, some kind of luck, but the bad luck. So I'll give a little edge to India.
Indeed. Right. So, what's happening now in terms of the West Indies team and their performance at the World Cup? They're back home, really, but in terms of the
youngsters.
The youngsters,
yeah. Okay, we could talk about it.
Yeah, we're not going to touch the Windies like that right now. We don't have the time.
I think they played fairly well up to a point.
Yeah.
Poor decisions in terms of selection. I think that you can't play a guy making his debut in the tournament at a Super 6.
Yeah.
When you know that is a crucial point. If we win, we go through. If we lose, that's it. So I think the selection at the latter part of the tournament was poor.
I think Joel Andrews, unfortunately, didn't get the scores. So we were talking about the English captain and the Australian captain as well.
Yeah,
these guys,
India batsman.
The India batsman. He had to be our champion. I think he had some good starts, had some decent starts and so forth, but I was unable to carry on. But I saw talent from the top 4.
Yeah,
the top 4. I really enjoyed what I saw from them.
The bottom half was poor.
Bottom half was the youngster Lars. Towards the end, he was hitting the ball cleaner and better than some of the middle order batsmen.
But for me, I like the bowling attack.
What about the bowling attack?
I love the bowling attack. The left arm pacer, very impressive.
Yes.
He's big, he's strong. The guy that took 6, Bell.
Yeah.
He looks fit. He has a bit more work to do in regards of his stamina.
Yeah.
But the spin bowling department looks really good. They brought in that guy from St. Martin. He bowled tremendously well as well.
Yeah.
Lars, that never played cricket, came and, they're talking about him, putting him in the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
But that's the next topic that we have to go on maybe next week. But
we have a lot to touch.
I don't want to spoil him though.
Well,
I like what he has.
But you know what I would do? Know that he's fresh on the scene without anybody knowing what he's doing and this and that. Throw him in. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Let the game tease.
Yeah.
Sammy a spoiler.
I would prefer even Carter in the team than Charles. But that's the next story.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, quickly, just say don't explain anything. We'll do that next week. In Group A, we have India, Namibia, Netherlands, Pakistan, United, USA. Who do you see coming out of Group A?
India.
Quickly. Well, two teams.
Who you say, Carl, you go too fast?
Group A, we have India, Namibia, Netherlands, Pakistan, and the United States. Right around the table.
I have India and probably United States.
All right.
India and Pakistan.
All right.
Something about America. India and America.
Carlo, who do you have?
I'll go the India and America for now.
India and America. Group B, we see Australia, Ireland, Oman, Sri Lanka, and Zimbabwe. Who's coming out?
Australia, Sri Lanka.
Yes.
All right, that's right around that table. Group C, England, Italy, Nepal, Scotland, and the guys from the Caribbean.
England and West Indies.
I have England and probably
Scotty too.
No, right. Italy looks like a team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
They have beaten. They have in the warm up matches. They have shown up. West Indies. It's sad, but It's just my gut feeling, mate.
All right. Kenty, quickly.
For love. For love. England and West Indies.
And I'm doing that in 2026. I'm talking facts.
Who for you, Cardinal?
I don't even know, but I know England for sure. I don't know who else. Tinty, the other one.
Cardinal taught the elephant in the room.
We're down to the final group. Group D: Afghanistan, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United Arab Emirates.
I have Afghanistan,
South Africa.
Yeah.
All right, so it's right around the table. Guys, well, folks, into your final words. You have 30 seconds each as we are pressed for time.
Well, for me, it's good to be back. It's good to be back around my brothers and my sister. Let's have an amazing year and have a great World Cup coming up starting tomorrow.
Yes,
tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
1:30 in the morning.
You see, it says 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Take out your 30 seconds. I'm glad to be back. Missed the program, and it's good to see that things are happening on the island, whether it's good or bad. Good to see that something is happening, and I know the caller calling earlier about the sports policy. I think it's going to be it's closer than you think. And I think it will change a lot of things of how we operate and administer sports on Ireland.
I'd like to say thank you, God, for what you have done for me so far. And I do hope and I do pray that it continues. And I bless everyone that's here with us on the panel and bless who call in today. And you can carry me to strength to find you even more.
Yes, indeed. So I was going to say, it was good afternoon. Shows that we have a lot of local things to discuss, a lot of rebuilding to do. I mean, we've never been short of saying what we think can happen and should happen, but we just need to get the whole community involved, and so that we can also move from strength to strength and be able to assist where necessary.
Indeed. Well, on behalf of the entire crew, Laverne, who took care of the nutritional tips, and Arvin's for sponsoring the ingredients for today, Gilmore, Papcho, Williams, to the Fisheries family, Dan, and of course, the Honorable John Osborne, and of course, to Brother Raymond from the Montserrat Cricket Association, and to all the listeners to the program this afternoon. Want to say thanks, Buff. Thank you for your contribution as well, and we're hoping that we'll see you inside the studio pretty soon.
And you want to hear his picks.
Yeah, well.
I just want to say that let's not get too deep into February to finish this stuff from January. Yeah?
Oh yeah, Buff, you hear that? Is that coming from me? And of course, want to say thanks to Brother Enver Brown for taking care of the technical part of things. We were streaming live on Facebook and also YouTube. So Enver, big up, enough respect.
Yes,
until next week.
Pay your dues from last year.